So I just shorted Workhorse Group Inc, WKHS. You can see it was a big pop with a nice candle and then a crash. So I shorted it at about 340, 341, 2,500 shares just on this technical break. You know, that's a big show of weakness, so I think that's going to spook people, and I'm looking to have this come back down to about 3 or where it started here today or tomorrow. The most recent news was on the 12th. It's now the 22nd, so there's no news. There's no reason for this to be up. The float, let's say 140 divided by 340. About 41 million. So about 40 million float. Isn't small, but it's not huge. So yeah, I'm gonna hold this today and probably overnight into tomorrow to get the full crash, and we'll see how this goes. But yeah, if we look at, it's kind of it ran about, let's see, about $3 to $4. So it ran a bit over 30% for no reason. And when that happens, and then I see this big pullback, I mean, I'm usually always going to short that. So let's look a little closer. This is the SEC. I'm trying to look at their financial filings. WKHS. There's no ticker. So that's a little weird. Let's see if Yahoo Finance has anything on them. They just partnered up with UPS, with the truck maker. That was 10 minutes ago. So that's why it popped. So the news hasn't hit here yet. So that's why I got the pop, which is great news, but I think it'll still pull back through tomorrow and come settle back down, or at least dip and bottom out before it runs, over the next couple weeks. If we look, long term, it's kind of bottomed out. I don't see much long term that tells me anything, but yeah, I think this is going to come back down, even though that's great news. So, yeah, we'll see how this plays out. Okay, so it looks like Workhorse is going to crash. We're up about $400 or $500 here. Once it does this, it's usually by tomorrow, it's usually going to come back down to 3 or even 280. So I'm going to hold this through today and then close it out tomorrow and try to get the full crash. Yeah, so we'll see, but yeah, a lot of times on these huge vertical spikes and the pullbacks, it just freaks people out. Because even though they're working with UPS to test electric trucks, I mean, the one that's just testing, and two that wouldn't start till 2019. can see here, UPS to test electric trucks in urban roads aimed for larger fleet deployment in 2019. People usually aren't that patient. So, and also Tesla is trying to compete in that space too. So, I mean, they're going to be hard to beat because they're trying to take over the entire trucking industry with electric trucks. So, yeah, the fact that it's going to take so long and they're so small, I think this is just some overexcitement here. So, we'll hang on to this and give it some time to come back down and get that extra, 25 cents a share. So, yeah, if this comes down from 340 to 3, I'll close it out. And that'll be around $1,000 bucks. We can get 40 cents a share at 2,500 shares. So that's the plan today. So here we are this afternoon, and sure enough, it crashed down to $3, which is pretty much the price target. You see it's bouncing off 3 in a technical standpoint just because, that's where it really jumped from and started this morning. Usually I would say, close this out and take the $1,000 bucks. But I'm going to hold this through tomorrow because I think it's going to come down even more. And I also want to show this as an example for the strategy video later on these particular types of setups. 96% of the time, and that's in about a 50 trade sample size, they stay down and go down even further the next day. So if you are under $25,000 in account size and you want to save your day trades, this is a good setup to trade because most of the time, like I said, over 90% of the time, 95% of the time, these will stay down and they will not come back. And then, the next day in the pre-market or whenever, or into the open, they usually crash down even more, and you can, 1, make more money, and 2, save your day trades. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to continue to hold this through tomorrow, just because it's such a drastic and strong crash. Usually I always say just to lock in profits, but in these particular cases, in these particular setups, I'm okay with this. So it's looking good. All right, I'm going to send this through.
Order partially filled. Order filled.
Okay. All right. So, it's dropping back down now, and that's great, but I just wanted to lock that in, and because the whole point of this trade was to save our day trade. Now it's dropping well, but when you have a sub 25,000 account, then saving your day trades is what it's all about. So this worked out. We went from 342 to 317 at 2,500 shares. So 25 cents at 2,500 shares, 625 bucks. So we'll take it.